All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Bowhunter Chronicles podcast, brought to you by Huntworth. Huntworth gear for all types of weather, all types of terrain, all types of budgets. It's clothing that just works. Check them out at huntworthgear.com, and they still have that clearance sale going on. Check out that Elkins vest, that Harrison hoodie, and not on sale, but if you take that Elkins vest along with the Grayling hoodie, and I prefer the solid, just the brown one. That is my go-to for just about 90% of all of my hunting. So solid setup there. Get over to huntworthgear.com and check that out. And if you haven't been paying attention to latitude lately, I don't know what you've been doing, but I think they've launched pretty much everything. I think the Praxis Pack launched today, and I did stop by their shop today. They did get a few more flyer packs in as of today. Plenty of Praxis in stock. 3 packs of the sticks are in stock. I don't believe they have any 4 packs of the sticks in stock right now. They said the retailers took tons of the 4 packs. All the accessories are in stock. Not a lot of platforms in stock. Not a lot of saddles in stock. But the new stuff, I think they got pretty good selection right now. But one thing I did get to check out and I'm pretty excited about is the new 7mm ropes. I got to talk to Jake for a while about those with the new hitch and the tender on there. Really easy to move with one hand, so you don't need mechanical ascender. And the only thing that I'm leery about, and I talked to him about it, he said it should be fine, but I want to get them wet and see after a while how much they lock up. But as far as packability and that new hitch on those ropes, get over there, check out their new 7mm ropes. That's going to be latitudeoutdoors.com. And if you haven't used it before, you can use code BHC to save 15% over there at latitudeoutdoors.com. So check that out. Pretty excited about that new stuff. The Synergy sticks are pretty cool. On this podcast, we talk a little bit about it. Greg has the flyer pack. Greg has the sticks, and has been messing around with them. So talk to him about his experiences and kind of like use case as far as what he thinks is gonna be for those. And then kind of lastly, check out Yellowstone.ai. Yellowstone cameras, really impressed with them. Got 4 of them out right now and doing really well. One of them's in a spot where there's like no service at all, and still getting pictures. Actually, too many pictures, too many leaves and too windy right now. So I got to turn that one down, which I can do right from the app. But a couple things going on right now with their unlimited plan. Right now through September, you get free video. So unlimited video with the unlimited plan. So no, it doesn't count towards your data. And so with that, the plan is very competitive as far as the pricing, and if you do it for a year, it's $10.75 a month. So pretty freaking amazing. Great price. And they have like tiered pricing. So if you're running they had it set up initially that it was 10 cameras, and now it's down to 4. So you can get their Elite Club if you're running at least 4 cameras. And so that brings the price down for that unlimited plan from $15.99 to $13.99 a month. And then again, now through September, you get free unlimited video. And along with that, like I said, discounted data plan. discounts on cameras, accessories. You have theft protection, and it's just a great thing. And like I said, that goes from the 10 cameras down to the 4. So if you're running at least 4 cameras, definitely something to check out over there at Yellowstone.ai. This podcast stems from some conversations that we had at TAC, and just kind of starts there, and then kind of goes into a little bit of gear stuff, a little bit of bow talk, and getting ready for the season, kind of transitioning from that TAC to kind of like a hunting scenario. But we started off with the conversation that we were having at TAC was, do out-of-state bucks count? Is it just easy? And Greg has a great analogy. I'll leave it for the podcast, but Greg is become a really good friend, and it's always great talking to him. Easy to talk to, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy this podcast. And as always, thanks for listening. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Bowhunter Chronicles podcast. And today we have Mr. Greg Litzinger. We got Jake in studio. This podcast was going to go one direction, and we've had some freaking wild, what would you call them, Jake?
Turn of events. But,
we started, like, at TAC, we went to, well, I guess let's just say this. So Greg came and came with us, and, we haven't talked much since TAC. You came, hung out with the crew. You got fanboyed left and right.
That's Jake.
How Jake, pretty much. And we picked you up with pretty much the best sign ever. Like, how was your TAC experience this year?
It's a great place. Michigan's nice. It's a good venue. Good crowd and good company. So it's it's not the most, as far as footing wise, like technical wise, but there have been some challenging shots, and just, getting split up in different groups was kind of lame, but fuck that guy. That guy was a dick. But yeah, it's always a good time shooting with you guys.
Worth the trip?
Absolutely. It's worth burning, a day or two of vacation.
How was the food?
Interesting. The armadillo eggs. The groundhog was a little. Took a couple bites to really get used to it. The first couple bites was like, I don't know about this. I guess the texture was kind of seagallish. Kind of, but then once after a few bites, it was all good.
I feel like that's like PTSD. I feel like just because everybody else hadn't had seagull and like had a very poor experience, like I feel like it just brought you back to being stranded on an island somewhere.
Maybe.
Well, you heard the story, right? The reason why me and him hung out so long at Vendor Village is so we made sure they were all gone.
Like drag it out so it'd be all gone by the time we got there. You guys saved too. You're like, here, we saved you. And we're like, damn it.
Yeah, well, you're going to get your money's worth. We knew you had that prison
food.
That's why you wanted to, it's worth burning a couple of days of vacation. I hear your house is a prison.
Oh, so this house is a prison? Well.
But yeah, so we went over and we started to, we were going to do a podcast with AB, and we had a really good discussion at the table that I would like to kind of continue about, like, if you kill deer out of state, do they count? I thought that was an interesting conversation, just because I feel like it's something that doesn't get talked about, and I think it could go like either way for some people, like not necessarily. I mean, I guess it could go either way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's I bust people's balls about the Midwest because I personally have no desire to go to Iowa, maybe Kansas plains hunting, but I got whitetails here. I have a hard time killing a whitetail here. I'm not driving 30 hours pretty much to make it easy on myself, you know. But guys that do it, I would respect them to a point, but it's, I don't know. For me, like I look at going out of state to where deer are a little easier to kill, bigger, easier to kill, more plentiful. It's like going to Florida to catch an 8-pound bass. Yeah, it's fun, it's cool, but to catch an 8-pound bass where there's no 8-pound bass or very few, that's more my bag personally. I've never. I mean, you guys know me long enough. I don't like things easy. When I try to make my life easy, it just gets really hard and complicated. So, I'll just keep my little hunt the mountains, PA, hunt the pines of New Jersey, and go hunt the marshes of Delaware, where it's a little kind of challenging, I guess. And listen,
Yeah.
I sound like an asshole when I say this, I think, but
You are.
it's, I don't want my life. I don't want to look back, when I'm 60 and be like, hey, I got 160 deer in the wall because I went to a state where 160 deer are plentiful, or 150 or whatever, and be like, and people think I'm this great white hunter, I guess. You'll go to 160-inch deer, in the Allegheny Mountains or something. To me, that's more my speed. That story holds more value to me than driving cross country. And I've driven, like, especially if I'm driving that far, I'm just going elk hunting. I'm driving another couple hours, either going mule deer or elk hunting. It's you guys it's a little easier to drive for you guys, but for me, it's a poke. And plus I don't have anybody to drive. I don't really hunt with that many people anymore. So
I think it's funny that you said, like, I don't want to sound like an asshole, because I remember, I think, well, I mean, I've known you long enough, right? But like, I think I was like one of the first like podcasts that we did, or like when I was first getting to know you, like in your history, when you were like, when I was a kid, I would like go around to the bars and like listen for like these deer, and then I would go and kill them and be like, fuck you,
Yeah.
like, so I it's kind of weird to hear those two things in the same sentence, from coming from this guy.
Well, I'm in a different place too. Like hunting wise, like we all, you want to kill your first big deer, then like you sustain that for a little bit, and then guys are content with that. But like right now with, having a young family again, like I wouldn't say my priorities have changed, but I don't have the ability, like a new job and new kids. Like I don't have 2 weeks to go hunt somewhere. I'm literally going to be a weekend warrior, So it's, for me to travel even to Delaware, Pennsylvania, it's probably not going to happen for a year or two. Like I'm just going to focus my efforts locally, not even go down to the salt marsh. I'll be lucky if I can hunt a couple hours a week after work. So I need to be in a familiar ground,
And so now, Jake, like for you, I think you've done a really good job of like killing deer here, and you're like, they don't count, and I mean, if you kill them with ear tags,
they don't count with ear tags,
They don't.
But, so last year, you kind of made it a point, like you wanted to go kind of on your own, see if you could do it. yada yada yada. So how was that experience, and like how did you feel about that versus like hunting here or like hunting your normal? Because I feel like now you have like all these spots where you just like know and you've kind of built that.
I don't know. I felt like last year was almost like for the deer that I shot, it was pretty easy. Like, I mean, you could go there and you could go shoot those deer all day long.
Well, pen deer usually are easy to kill, so.
Yeah. I mean, even in Kansas. Yeah. If you pay enough money, Greg.
I guess I'll just cheat.
They just tie them up for you. I mean, that's how it goes. But I don't know. It was fun. Like, it's enjoyable. But I get more of a kick doing it, like, here. Like, out of state's cool. And it's fun. But it's just...
It'd be much cooler to shot a 190 out of state.
Yeah. But I don't have enough money for a 190.
Be much cooler if you did. Be much cooler if you did.
Yeah. But see, like step into like my shoes for a minute, just by like saying that, right? Like for me, like this year, like drawing an Iowa tag and going out there, and like I joke around like with Joe, like because I'm gonna film Joe, and it's like, you know, we have different standards, right? But like for me to go to Iowa and kill a 190, it's gonna be like completely like if one walks by, it's not gonna be. You know, it will be. I mean, last year was super cool. Like the buck that I had at full draw was a freaking tank, and it was super freaking cool. And I put myself in that position and all that stuff. But it wouldn't be like, you know, kind of like what you're saying. Like I wouldn't like hang my hat on like, oh, look at I'm a big buck killer now or anything like that. It's just I like going out of state. Because I feel like, I think now, kind of like what you've been doing, like I have more time now to be able to do that. And I'm starting to realize that I could take the time to kind of go out and try and search out.
When you
but
work
I have this
days,
like analysis.
When you work 2 days a week, you get plenty of
I was going to go there. Part-time, bud.
Yeah.
Part-time.
But now I'm starting to realize that I could, right? But it's always been like paralysis analysis or paralysis by analysis. Like because I'm home, I have all these areas like, oh, maybe I should go here, maybe I should go here. And it's not like history or it's not like I'm really like honing it in. It's just like kind of like historical here, there, not running a bunch of cameras, not doing all the stuff. And so for me, like going out of state for me is like about the adventure, like being with my friends and like going there, putting yourself in a spot and just, you know, that's what I think is cool.
Sure.
But I just think for me, it's all about like the adventure and going there and like having only 10 days to do it, like, or 5 days to do it or like whatever.
10 days, look at you, big guy.
Just to go there. But you know what, you understand what I'm saying? And so like, it kind of goes back to the question that I ask all the time is like, and it doesn't necessarily like apply to you guys, but there's a lot of guys who have walls full of big bucks from the same property, from the same day every year. I mean, your brother, my buddy Bill, is one of them. I mean, his garage is lined, his house is lined with bucks, and it's just they just go out there and shoot them on these farms. And it's like when you go like, what's your public land experience? Well, you know, when I was a kid, I used to do that, but you know, to try and get them to go out there.
Yeah, you know, I got some really good hunters I know that stick to their properties and they kill big deer every year. I would say they're some of the best hunters I know on their piece. Like if you were to put them where I go.
If you've been looking to upgrade your cellular camera system to a system that's easy to use, you need to check out Yellowstone.ai. Their app is simple, intuitive, and designed for hunters by people who actually hunt. From setup to viewing your photos and managing your cameras, everything is straightforward and easy to navigate. Yellowstone's Y2 cellular trail camera was given ATA's Best New Technology Award for its ability to automatically connect to the strongest carrier, send HD photos and videos directly to your phone, and withstand year-round field conditions. What really sets Yellowstone apart is their customer service and lifetime warranty. When you need help, you're dealing with a U.S.-based support team that understands hunters and can get your questions answered quickly. They also offer highly competitive data plans and camera pricing, making it easier to keep more cameras in the field without breaking the bank. And if you're investing in equipment, it's nice knowing it's backed by their lifetime warranty that gives you the confidence season after season, spending less time making unnecessary visits to cameras and more time focusing on the hunt. Whether you're monitoring a home farm, a lease, or a public land setup, Yellowstone delivers the features hunters need with the support and value they deserve. Head over to yellowstone.ai and see why more hunters are making the switch. Backed by a lifetime warranty, Yellowstone cameras are built to keep hunters connected and confident.
Maybe they will have that type of success, but I don't think so, because they'll walk in, or you ride your bike in, or take the boat in. Like these guys are the hunting their little back 40s or little woodlots, but they door knock and they do it right, and they kill big deer. But I don't know if they'd have the same success outside of that, their little sanctuaries, I guess you would call them. And the one guy, he's a baiter, but he don't hunt over bait. He just does it for the food on the property, and he hunts them coming back to bed, and he kills really. I mean, he kills hammers. But you take that bait away, you take that food. I don't think he's going to have that same level of success, But hey, I guess to each their own. That's what makes, this, whatever the hunting is, it just like fishing, whatever, you choose what way you want to do it. And as long as you sleep well at night, I guess that's all that really matters.
I think it's like how you portray yourself, right? And I think that's what gets me, is like these guys who are like, look at all these deer that I've killed. And it's like, come with me for a minute. Like, oh, I don't know. Where am I supposed to go? Like, but that's what I've always said is like, would you rather be that guy that can do that every time on your piece of property, but can't hunt your way out of a paper bag? Or would you rather be dropped in a subdivision and be able to go kill a deer, anywhere, like just to find a deer?
It's all, personal preference. But there are plenty of hunters, both men and women, that portray this DIY state land hunter, but we all know that they're not, like they're, but they portray the image. I mean, and I think that's what kind of turns a lot of people off with hunting in general, and the social media, how social media has affected hunting. People are getting into it for more of a, like a recognition thing, instead of, like you've earned your seat at the table, so to speak. People want to, I mean, I still don't personally, and I'll take this to my grave, I don't feel that I've done anything worthy of attention in the hunting space. And I will take that. But, I think my methodology resonates with a lot of people, and I think that's what, strikes a chord with a lot of people and put me in the position I'm in now. I don't think I've done anything spectacular, in the space. Been fortunate a few times, lucky, whatever you want to call it, but I still don't feel, I look at some people like, man, you kill 2 or 3 a year. I'm lucky to kill 1 every 3 years anymore, so it's like, but I think it's the story and your method. I think that whatever your style of hunting that resonates with like your crowd, your people, then you're kind of in, I got friends. I mean, we all got friends that they go out with guides, but they work hard. They get 2 weeks vacation. I can't fault them for it because they ain't got time to scout. You know, they're union guys. They just work. They don't get any vacation time really. So they take the first 2 weeks of November, go out Midwest somewhere and kill hammers. Yeah, that's cool. You know, but that's not exactly my bag. You know, even if I had the money, I don't think I would enjoy doing that. But I don't know.
Well, at the NRA show, like that conversation we were having with Josh Stubbs,
Yeah.
like that kind of like opened my eyes to like, you know, like you said, you know, go out there, pay a guide to go
Yeah.
do it. You know, I don't know, was your buddy
Yeah.
telling you, like, if you're just going to go out there, you might as well just go pay a guide instead of like,
Yeah.
you know, go out there 10
Yeah.
times and have, you know,
Yeah.
1 year of success. And then he's saying just pay a trespass fee for guys that know
Yeah.
where there's elk, and then you just get the lay
Yeah.
of the land, and there's elk there, and you still got
I
to
mean,
kill
like,
them.
I mean, next time I go elk hunting, I'm getting a guide. You know, I've done it twice by myself. I've seen elk, been close to killing one, but I don't have 2 weeks anymore to do that. So next time I'm gonna fly out, you know, shoot one and drive it home. You know, rent a truck and like drive it home. You know, if I don't shoot one, you know, take a plane ride, you know, fly back home. You know, it's just because of time constraints. You know, it's just I'm getting older. You know, kids. It's like I spend 2 weeks trying to chase an elk, which I've already done. You know, but I would like to just have that guide experience in the mountains. You know, horseback ride up, wall tents, something you've seen as a kid. Like, man, that'd be cool to do. I'm not buying a wall tent and doing that myself. You know, I would like to experience that type of environment. You know, it's very campish. You know, I spent some times, you know, in camps around here, and you know, in Bo's camp, his family camp, and there is a cool atmosphere to camp life. You know, so it would be neat to experience that once or twice, you know, in my lifetime. You know, out there. You know, granted, I paid for it. You know, probably still won't kill an elk because that's just the way it goes. You know, it'll be a $5,000 vacation.
I think you're getting soft with your old age.
I don't know. After that run yesterday, I might be getting soft. I'm hurting today.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What was the you just ran a 10K in the mountains,
Spartan
right?
race. They do like the Blue Mountain ski resort. They do the Spartan race there, but then they also have a 10K trail run. It's basically, you know, it puts Crystal Mountain to shame, the height, the vert. You know, it's a pretty good clip, and like right out the gate, you're just going straight up. So like you can't even run. I mean, some people were running, but yeah, I've been down that road before. You know, that's just going to kill you. And yeah, I ran at my Crispies because my ankles bother me. So I got my Crispies, and pretty much the first, you know, pretty much just 3 miles up and 3 miles down. Some switchbacks, you know, going up, but right out the gate, you're straight vert. And that was good going hiking. You know, I'm a good hiker, but on the switchbacks, trying to run on those Crispies, it's just not. They're not designed for that, you know, at all. I tried to make it work, but it was like trying to like run with lead weights, like cinder blocks on your feet. But like going up and down, those boots were money. I mean, it was the Appalachian Trail basically, like all around us in Northeast. It's really sharp rocks, and going downhill, like everybody's got these Altras and shoes on, but they're like struggling to get through some of these trails. Like I'm just blasting down like 100 miles an hour downhill because the boots could take it. But then as soon as I got to like flat, like everybody caught me again. I just can't run in the clod hoppers, you know? Sound like a fucking horse trying to run down the fucking side hill. But, I mean, I got 73rd out of 250, I think. In my age group, I was the top third, I think, in my age group, which is pretty good for not having zero training. Like I didn't do any training for this. That was just sheer stupidity, running in hunting boots. But I'm paying the price today. Like I feel awful.
So is this like a gateway drug, like midlife crisis? Are we gonna go like Cam Litzinger?
I'm gonna do
Like,
one next year too. I'm gonna try to do 2 next year. Like I was talking to
yeah.
one guy. He does ultras. I was hanging out with like 2 guys hiking on the way up, and both older guys. The one guy, he does ultras. He's like, basically in the mountains, you spend 60 to 70% of your time pretty much walking, because you're just going up. It's just straight vert. You run on the flats and you're walking up, and then going downhill. It's like you're just slight jogging. It's just it's more of a mental grind than anything. Like when I got done the race, I got what took me 80. I did it in 86 minutes. I wasn't really tired. Like 2 minutes after the race, my heart rate was normal. And it was like, man, I had more to give. And like, not to gross your listeners out, but I had some stomach problems in the morning, like really bad. And I had to catch a lift ride at like 5:15 to get to the mountain, and it was bad. So I ate like a banana and a little bit of yogurt, and I had some gummy bears for the ride, for the run up. That was all the food I had. So definitely wasn't prepared on that aspect. Didn't really drink enough water. It wasn't pretty, but I like getting through. Like you get close to. I was hanging out with this one guy. He kept like this older guy gaining on me. He's got like a water vest. He's got full gear, heart rate monitor, watch. I literally ran cotton shorts, cotton shirt, and a Dasani water bottle and gummy bears, pretty much in my pocket. That's what I had. And I kept asking what time it was, and he's like, "You keep asking what time it is," and I was like, "I don't know, I'm bored." I was like, "We're just like, I just want to know." He's like, "It was." And he kept going. He's like, "My watch keeps going into my rest day. My watch thinks it's my rest day." And I'm like, "How many days you train?" He's like, "Oh, like 4 days a week." And I'm like, "What?" Like, and I was like, "Well, I'm definitely going to beat you just because of that." Like, I don't want to sound like a dick, but I'm like, I'm going to take your soul. And on the last, you had to go up and then like around and down, just going up. We were side by side. And just like at the tack event there, I just ran, gave everything I had, and just left him in the dust. He tried to keep it up with me, but I broke him. And then I got to the top. I thought I was going to like throw up. I was like, I'm not stopping till the end. And I just pretty much like ran straight to the end. And then you got to like jump over the fire. And I kind of like limped over the fire because I was like, I'm done. But then like I said, 3 minutes after, I was fine. Like I was like Monica, she was on her way coming from the hotel. I called her. I was like, "Yeah, I'm done." She goes, "You're done?" It's like, "Yeah." She's like, "What time did you start?" I was like, "Oh, 7:10." It was like 8:40. I was done. I thought it was going to take me like the full. I didn't realize I was going to like run, but I was getting passed by people a lot older than me, and it was kind of pissing me off. I was like, "No, I'm not losing to that guy. That dude was like 75. I am not losing to a 75-year-old man." I was like, it's just not going to do it.
That's basically the equivalent of him saying like you'd be pretty good if you get your shit together.
But at the end, it was demoralizing because I got passed by like 3 women. Like I was on the flats. I was like, I'm trying to run, but those boots are just not made for running, and it's like really rocky. And these 3 girls that I passed, like I don't know, a mile back going downhill, they just blew by me like I was sitting still, and I'm like, these boots suck. Because I could not run. I couldn't get like my normal running because it was like I had like these short little stutter steps, and I got like long legs, so it was like my whole gait was messed up. That's probably why my feet hurt today because I wasn't running like myself. But I'm like, they blew by me, and like I was like going in reverse. I was like, fuck, and I was like, yeah, that kind of hurts a little bit because I blew by them all going downhill because they're taking their time going down this rock thing, and I just bombed downhill and started like taking off, but they all caught me. It was kind of like, ow, You guys are like fast. I'm not that fast. But I mean,
And so like normally at like TAC or whatever, you're like usually in like ultras or
yeah,
something like that. Like, so Jake said you like messed up
yeah,
your ankle or
yeah.
something.
I've been dealing with plantar fasciitis, and then about a month ago, me and Annette were working out. You know, she rolled her ankle last week, so she didn't even do her race. You know, her.
I know. I said, were you guys like in a 3-legged race or something? Like just
I was like,
vintage
oh,
or
you are
what?
my daughter, that's for sure. No denying that. But so we started doing some workout in the yard. You know, we were doing farmers carries. We're doing jumping jacks, and then farmers carries. She was doing two 10-pound dumbbells, and we're going 80 yards. I'm doing 30 pounds, and then I was doing sandbags, uh, and then something, and then running back, and then running back to start all over. We were doing that like 5-6 times. And we're doing it, you know, a couple times a week. Like everything was going good. I bought this new Ultras, and the sixes, it's got a lot more cushion, and my ankle's just, you know, there's this movement, you know, and it was just too much for my right ankle, and it's just got like a little bit of like plantar fasciitis. I'm like, all right, well, I'll take it easy, and then that turned into what's that, perineal tendonitis or something that I had before in the past, and I'm like, well, this sucks because I'm basically just shut down, like my feet, everything just hurt. So I was wearing my old man, you know, Under Armour wide cushion insoles, you know.
Cam Hanes.
So I've been wearing them, and it was like, I don't even know if I can do this race. That's why I was going to walk it. I'm like, I got to walk this whole race. But then everybody's passing me, and I'm like, no, I just can't. I just can't. I'm too competitive. I was like, yeah, this is probably not a good idea, but I gotta push myself. But I feel mentally, I'm kind of built for that, like the 10Ks and maybe even like a 25K in the mountains. There's a lot of hiking. Like I'm a pretty efficient hiker. You know, thank my dad for that. You know, all the years of hiking with him, and you know, as a kid, my dad didn't stop. You know, you had to play catch up with him. He was not a guy who's going to slow down and wait for his sons. So it was like my dad's long ass legs. So, you know, you learn to hike, you know, pretty quickly. So, and years of hunting the mountains. So it was like, man, I kind of like this. You know, going downhill, it's not that bad. You know, from years of hunting in the Appalachian Trail, it's a little sketchy, but I got hundreds and thousands of hours probably up there hiking on that stuff. But it's the switchback downhill that I need to work on. You know, I need to find the right shoe. See, definitely like a rock plate, like those Ultras. My feet would have been tore up because coming down, it was just like sharp pointing rocks like this. You got to step on. So those shoes would have. I mean, yeah, they wouldn't have. My feet would be hurt probably 10 times worse this morning.
Yeah, so I don't know what you did, but all of a sudden, Jake messaged me yesterday, and he's like, "Yep, think I'm going to do an ultra. Signed up for an ultra."
Because I'm stupid.
Huh.
Me and him talked about it last night too.
It's
Like I'm dumb. I'm dumb enough. I'll do
dude.
one.
Well, try like a mountainous 10K. You know.
Yeah, with what mountains?
Hey, I drove close to 3 hours to get some mountains to do this one.
Dude, we don't have any mountains.
Well, we got ski resorts. I'm sure
We just
there.
got
I'm sure there's.
We got medium-sized hills.
Hey, start with that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I bet you that deal that they have over in Wisconsin, that like beast mode. Because didn't you do one
Yeah,
of
I
those?
did a train to hunt, and that was brutal. I wish there was more of that. I would love to do that again. You know, there's really nothing locally like that. Like that was, I mean, that was awesome. I didn't really shoot the best. You know, I was because dealing with my knee problem at the time. You know, and I was double braced up. You know, I was dealing with like a hamstring issue from overtraining, and it was just carrying that 50 pounds like for time and doing all this stuff and trying to shoot. And the same thing with that. Like, I don't care how I shot. I was like, I just wanted to beat people on the physical part. You know, I was like, one guy's pulling away. I was like, this guy ain't beat me. And I was like, I gave everything I had, and like, it destroyed my hamstring for like 6 months. But I was like, that guy didn't beat me. That's all I care about. The guy was talking shit, and I beat him at the very end. I'm like, yeah, I fucked myself up for 6 months, but hey, you didn't beat me, so it's all good.
Well, on stuff like that, it's like you could do so great, and then you could just mess up the
Yeah,
shooting, and it'd kill you anyway.
you know, like I said, the shooting part of that was for me. It was more like the physical challenge. Like, man, can I really hump 50 pounds? Because back then when I was 39. Yeah, I was 38 or 39. I was like 150 pounds, maybe 155. You know, so 50 pounds that's a lot. To carry. Because it was like the men's. It wasn't your body weight. It was like for your man, 50 pounds. I was like, oh, all right. So, my buddy went up with me. He's a big dude. 50 pounds is nothing for him. He curls that for working out. And I'm like, so there's the mental part of that, like, hey, can I do this? And I do believe I'm gonna sign up do the same one I did this year, and they got one in West Virginia, and I mean, that area is even more mountainous than this one where I did mine, and they got one up in New York, but all about the same distance. So I definitely want to do two next year, two more Spartan race 10Ks. Just I don't know. I feel I can get down to like 70 minutes with proper training and the right footwear. Maybe I think I could probably do sub 70 minutes.
I would hope. I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. Like going downhill, like my quads are fine, like my calves are all right going uphill. But it's just running in those stupid boots that destroyed my feet. Like I feel great everywhere else except because I was expecting, like my hip flexors and stuff to be bothering me, but I mean, not really. But then again, I'm used to hiking with weight, so doing it without anything on your shoulders was like, man, this is like liberating. It felt so free.
So next year for the Total Archery Challenge, we'll have to get some of those vendor passes, get out there at like 5, 6 a.m. and just run the course.
Well, that where the Pico one, like that's the Vermont one. That would be the place to really push yourself, because there's hiking trails all over that place. Like that place is, I mean, it's small compared to like where Killington down the street, but I mean it's got some steep vert, and how they have some of their targets. You got to go up a lift, walk over, and like walk down like a mile to get to the next lift, and you could feel that after walking a mile straight. Like it was pretty steep, and you're like, God damn! Like if you're going straight down, it was like no switchbacks, so you're just going down like a ski trail, like right underneath the lift, and you're like, man, we were going straight down. If you slip and fall, like you're going to take a tumble.
That's where we're going next year, right?
Yeah, I think. And as far as like technical footing and stuff, like that place, the physical part is really challenging in some of the courses. Some of their bigger courses, like you're working.
And so that one where you were at in Vermont is that 25 shots or
they
20?
add another. They add those 25 targets on the big courses. So all your main courses had 25 targets, which is kind of nice. It's better than 20, But the volume of people, like there's people, but not like what Michigan, and like even like Pennsylvania. Like I couldn't even imagine shooting Pennsylvania anymore. You would have to shoot it Thursday, or like late Sunday, because that place is just out of control. Like the Pennsylvania one, it's a cool place to work a booth because you see everybody. I worked the Latitude was there that one year, and it was great because you just see everybody from like New York, Vermont, because it's like centrally located. Joey, he came to PA to shoot, and I've seen people from like West Virginia. So Pennsylvania's good, like hangout one, drink some beer, like hang out, talk, but you're spending all day to shoot one course. That's a lot.
Yeah. So Jake, what's your plan for your ultra?
None.
None. Just go the Greg route.
Dude, see, Emily said the same thing. Like when I had this crazy idea, because well, I mean, you guys know, like I run a lot now, and I'm like pretty consistent about it. And like when we were talking about it, I'm like, dude, I can breeze 5 miles, I can breeze 10 miles, and I look at it and I'm like, well, if I can breeze 10 miles, you only have to do it like 5 times. Like if you just break it down into a small number, I'm like, it's really not that bad.
I got friends that do marathons, and they don't ever run over 12 miles. They keep it.
Like everybody I talk to.
He goes, once you're in it, that you hit the 10-mile mark, that's when you realize, like, oh shit, like I'm in this. And they're like, well, fuck it, I just got to finish it. You know, it's like you're doing the leg work when you're training, trying to run a marathon. They say it's just you're just beating your body up for no reason. You know, because you'll probably quit the first time you try to do a marathon outside of like a race because there's no incentive to finish it. You know, that's what he told me. He's like, yeah, I ran 26 miles, but it was the worst 26 miles because I'm just doing it for myself. You know, there's like nothing on the line. I wasn't trying to like get a PR or like groups of people like helping you out along the way. So you see, you know, people to motivate you. You're by yourself for 3.5 hours or whatever on the street. He goes, it's fucking boring. You know, so I keep my training sessions like 12 miles, maybe a 15 miler. He goes, but I just saved the full 20 pluses for race day.
Yeah, it makes sense. Because, I mean, we just run, like, I have my certain loops, and, like, I just run those.
You run trails or just streets?
And then I might mix. So, as of right now, it's just streets.
Well,
and then we're going to switch it up. Well, like, where I live, like, I don't know, how far is that? Like, the sports complex? 5 minutes from my house? And, like, that's where I can get into, like, some elevation and running in, like, the dunes and stuff like that. That's why I was asking you about, like, trail shoes for, like, the kid. Because he wants to run. And if we're doing street, like, every time we run the street, he just rides his bike. And you want to feel real out of shape, just try and keep up with a kid riding a bike.
Like, I hate running on the road. I actually despise road running. It sucks. Well, I try to run like I'm 15 again, and I run like, 6-minute miles, and it's just not happening. Yeah, I can run a 6-minute mile, but that's pretty much all I got. That's it. The gas, like everything's gone, and my breathing gets all fucked up. Yeah. In the woods, I can calm it down. I can run a 10-minute pace in the woods, doesn't bother me. Because, got logs, rocks, but on the road, like a 10-minute pace bothers me. So I feel like I should be faster. So I try to overrun, and then I just fuck myself all up.
Well, that was me. That was me yesterday. Because the one loop that I ran yesterday was almost. Well, it's 4.3 is the normal one, and I ran 3 miles. Right, so I'd run a mile at anywhere between a 6-minute pace, and then I would walk a half mile, and then I would do another one at a 6-minute pace. And then I would so I did 3 at a 6-minute pace, and you want to talk about cooked. I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Well, and that's like last year, was it last year or the year before, when basically like all of us Rome guys, like somebody posted a mile time, and it was like,
me.
Yeah, and it was like, then Brad ran a mile, and I was like, I can run a sub 7 mile. And they're like, bullshit. Like, yeah, so I'm like 230 pounds, and I ran, like, I don't know. I did it. I didn't think I could do it, but I was like, I know I can do it. But when I got done, I was like, I'm dead. Like
I said,
dead.
There ain't no way.
I do it with Annette. Like I'll run with her. She does like a running club. They have like a parents running. I mean, I've done I think like a 6:58, and it's like the worst. I just feel like my breath is all messed up. I can't maintain a good breathing pattern on the road because I feel like I can run faster. And then, like, for me, like, I'm a good runner if I keep my breathing in check, keep my heart rate where it needs to be. Like, I can run, like, hiking. I can just not stop hiking. I can eat while I'm hiking. I get in that zone 2 where I can just go, and it's like, man, I can go forever. But in the street, I just start overrunning or overstriding, and then my heart rate gets too high, and my breathing gets messed up, then I was just like, then I'm just trying to think too much, like in through the nose, out through my breathe, foot, arms, and then it's like, it's gone, you know. But in the woods, it's like I don't have time to do that because it's like trees, rocks, you know, branches. There's things to take my mind off of it, you know.
So, kind of going back to the beginning where we were going to have like a hard transition, I was going to ask, like, what do you do, like, going from Total Archery Challenge, shooting, to, like, get into, like, hunting style situations? Because especially Jake, like, his shooting
Buy a new
is
bow.
like, yeah, but his is, like, super, super tight shooting. But then Jake tries to call me today on Monday, like at work.
My
And
one day I'm working.
I'm like,
jeez.
I know it's
rough,
dude. It's the consistent day that I work, and I'm like, it's Monday, fool. And he's like, call me right now. And so, what was so freaking important?
So you remembered this conversation, right? When me and Adam decided that we were just like, oh, we're gonna put in for Nebraska for antelope. Because I didn't tell you this, or I didn't tell this to you yet. But so I get a phone call today from Nebraska Game and Parks. I got the email too. So they do, you know how they do the 1st round of like your lottery drawing for the tag, and then if somebody defers it or whatever, I got one.
But it wasn't like we put in together, but we didn't get a deferred one together. So he just got one on his own.
So
the second.
So you're going stag by yourself?
I don't know what I'm doing. Like if I defer it, I keep my point, and then maybe when we're not idiots, that we can apply together. You know what I'm saying? And then we both have the same amount of points. Because if I defer it, it doesn't hurt me because I didn't get a first option.
But it's like, you know, going from like hunting distance to like, I mean, now you can shoot pretty well at, well, I guess you don't even have a bow.
You need a bow to shoot.
You shoot pretty well at 100. I mean, spot and stock antelope at 100 sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, it does sound fun. But the problem is like, I got to go all the way west in Nebraska.
How far of a drive is that? You got.
Oh, fuck.
It's a fly.
It's a flying
That was
thing.
our plan. Like, we're flying.
And that's
What's
the whole
drive?
point.
10 hours?
10?
No.
Oh, no.
God, no.
It's
Oh,
probably
that's right. Well, you got to come down.
15.
Michigan is like the worst state because you got to drive 3 hours to get out of your state just so you can leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So, and then it's however far. I mean, you're looking the far west side of Nebraska.
Yeah, all the way.
So it's like, what, 20?
I don't know. I would say at least 15, but probably
Yeah,
closer.
I mean, I think Montana, I'm 30. Or Helena, it's like 29 hours for me to get Helena area of straight driving. That's not like no resting, 2 people driving, just alternating, just straight driving.
The worst part of that drive coming back, though, is like, it's just like every time you like hit a time zone, it like kicks you in the nuts because it like it adds time. So you're like, oh, I'm gonna get back at this time. Like, nope. Now it's 7 o'clock.
Well,
now it's 8 o'clock. Now it's 9 o'clock.
I fly from Michigan. If I land in Chicago, it's a time zone difference. So this fucks me up. And you're there, you look at your watch, you're like, man. But then you get back home and like it's just like, why? Like, just let me just do direct flights, you know, because Michigan's my time zone. Like, it's Eastern time zone. But when I fly up to you guys, I always come home. I have to go to Chicago, and it's a different fucking, you know, I'm gaining an hour and then fucking losing this. And it's like, you're confused. You're like, what the fuck's going on?
So going from the Total Archery Challenge to hunting, like, what's your, do you do anything different? Like, what do you do to get back into hunting, quote unquote, hunting shape?
I haven't shot my bow since Michigan. It's still sitting in the case. I haven't even opened the case. It's still like airlocks in there.
So you haven't found our treats we left you?
Probably not. It actually still might be a lot.
Woodchuck carcasses?
Um, you know, I'll just start shooting a local club, just doing the walkthrough, just warming up, and then come August, I'll start shooting my broadheads. Almost every time I shoot, I'll be shooting a broadhead. And because our season starts the 12th September. Not hunting Delaware, just no time. So I want to be dialed in come September, and where I'll be hunting, I'll be lucky to be able to shoot 40 yards, 50 yards. I'll try to. I cleared out my whole. I can shoot 120 yards. I can shoot 130 yards in my yard right now. And when I had it cleared out last fall, I was like, man, I can't wait for the summer. I'm gonna be shooting 130 yards broadheads. No, I'm not. It's not doing. I just don't have the time. Work. I'm at the bottom tier of the pay scale, so to offset the money we need, I got to work more. So, pretty much 100%, dude.
This is you, and this is me.
Pretty much. They people don't really talk to me that much anymore, which is I wonder why. I don't know.
I guess you just got to come unglued one time.
Just act crazy one time. People leave you alone. I do. I've had a few interviews, Zoom interviews. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got one tomorrow, and one Wednesday.
Were they the ones we talked about?
No, the one that I really wanted, I got through the second. It's a big place, but the lady was there's 4 stages. I got through stage number 2. I didn't get it back. But whatever, that would have been a great one. That was a lot of money, a little bit of a commute, but the money would offset the commute substantially. And a shit ton of days off. Starting off with 19 days.
Those are nice.
Starting off with 19 days right from Jump Street. You're like, that's a lot of time,
That's all?
That's all. Sorry.
Hey,
Sorry,
dude.
union state worker and pharmacist, part-time pharmacist.
Hey, hold on, though. You got to think about how I get most of the rest of my
we
vacation
know.
time.
We know, Jay.
It's called overtime. Yeah.
This is me. This is you.
Yeah. No, it's called, dude, as soon as we implemented that comp time thing, I've been all about that.
Yeah, so we'll see. I get a raise here shortly, but it'll take me 2 years to really make some good money there, another year and a half. But if something comes up sooner than that, close at home too, I'd be a fool not to jump on it. There's a lot of places, in my industry, there's always overtime. And I did the math. It cost me $3 an hour just to get to work before I make any money. By the time I pay gas, tolls, wage tax, the city wage tax, it's a little over $3 an hour. So I'm if I can make,
What?
I'll top out at 48, 49. If I can make 45, 10 minutes from the house, I'm making more money, So as long as the benefits and shit like that is, some places are just terrible with the benefits, paying for it. And it's how's that even legal? Someone pay that much? What's your deductible? 13,000. Wait, what? Time out. 13,000
Jesus.
for a family plan before you do 100%? I'm that's a lot of fucking money, man. And you charge me $400 a month on top of that? Yeah, F that, man. That's a terrible. You'd have to pay me $65 an hour for that job to make sense, and it's $35 an hour to start. It's not plausible,
Shit, dude, mine's 18 grand
Yep.
for my deductible.
Shit, fuck that.
Hey, here's the kicker, though. I don't pay for it. They do. dude,
Yeah.
it works.
They,
I mean, look at all that shit. Well, you seen all the shit that I just went through after TAC. Them bills have been coming in. And I'm like, this sucks.
well, yeah, stop buying gay bows. You know?
That ain't it.
Yeah.
No, when the wife was in there, and I'm like, ooh, that's rough.
Well,
Like,
Yes. When are you getting your bow?
I should have it
which
tomorrow.
bow is this now?
The one I told you
Which
about.
one? You said you're like three different bows.
Oh, I just got the Mach 33. I went back to PSE.
I thought
I was
you were
smart.
getting Expedition, and then it was PSC, and then it was another ARC,
They're too damn
and then
slow,
it was
dude.
a Darton, and then it was this, and it was that.
I ain't getting a Darton.
Adam said you were getting a Darton.
Yeah. He wants me to get a Darton.
So he texted me and I thought he said he got 2 bows and I was like,
No.
he said he was like, I got one like yours and then I ordered the PSE and I was like, well, that's weird.
No. I
I
ain't
was
got
like-
that kind of money.
I don't know. I'm looking at Expedition.
You are?
I might, yeah.
Are you going to buy one?
We'll see.
You should.
I might.
Then I can shoot that one.
But I did. So Austin just got one. One of the ones that we looked at, and I told him that about the
Yeah.
cams.
Yeah, I was
And like
I was
that.
surprised at how rough, I guess, it felt. You know, you would think a bow like that, especially people with their hands on it, like someone would look at that and be like, yeah, no, that can't go out the door. You know, it makes you kind of. I mean, all manufacturers. I mean, I've seen that with PSEs, Matthews. I mean, I would say Matthews and Hoyt probably their machining's probably some of the best out there. You know, you don't see many Matthews with machine marks or Hoyts. You look pull it up and you see, you know, any type of marks.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
You put pink strings in your bow. That's the problem.
No, it's not.
You're saying that the bow was rejecting
Yeah.
the strings?
Yeah.
The bow's like absolutely
It was rejected. Yeah.
Well, that's
all
not.
right.
I mean,
guess
that,
what the new
yeah,
one's
that's
got
not
on it.
machining marks. That is just the machine got bumped out, and and that cam, they're usually pretty good on their. You don't hear too many horror stories with Matthews. You'll misaligned holes and untapped holes and stuff like their machining is probably some of the best, cleanest machine.
Oh yeah.
Or quality control.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But like I said, for that
You
type
know,
of money, I expect a little. You know, maybe I'm just cheap, but I think anything over 1,000, I expect a little extra. You know.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think that I'm not sure that was machining. I think that's like coating.
Yeah.
It's that finish that they
Yeah.
put on them.
Like that would definitely tear up your serving, you know, going through repeated, you know, you would definitely, I don't care what type of serving you would have on that. That would definitely start chewing your serving up, especially pink serving.
Okay. We're not changing
So of all the bows, like, so you went with arc
now.
because you shot it and you were like, okay, because I've not. I mean, I think even you, Greg, like, didn't you shoot an arc and like this thing's pretty fucking awesome?
It was like I shot the lift last year. I'm like, God damn it, you know. And I was like, and then buying the 33, but I will say I got my 29 back together and it pulls completely different. Same weight. It pulls smoother than my 33. I can't explain it, but it definitely feels different. I definitely prefer the 29. I'll probably use the 29 for hunting. It's my main hunting bow, and then have the 33 as a backup hunting bow. Set it up for like field, you know, kind of what I had set up for tack. You know, I'll keep that sight on it, keep those arrows in that bows. I'll get some more Spartan arrows there for the 29. But I think the 29 is just for hunting, you know, I just like it better personally, you know. Especially, I mean, I think the 33 just feels big in a tree. You know, it's a lot of bow, you know. But I do like, I shot the arc and it was like, they are just well designed and the tuning part is just great. Just being able to just move your cam over, turn them a screw. I will miss that, tuning the 29 because I got to swap the top hats out. I fucking hated that. Fucking hated that. So time consuming and tedious,
What arc did you shoot? The 30 or the 34?
It was the 30.
Yeah, that's the one I wish I would have shot. Granted, I'm not a short bow guy, but like that 34 draws like a brick shit house.
Well, it's fast. I mean, your bow is cooking. Dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Dude, the new one's going to be faster, and that's the problem.
Speed.
Because, I mean, it was 295.
Speed kills.
No. Because I'm going to shoot a heavier arrow. Now. Because I don't want it to be above 300.
But so you went with the arc,
Yeah.
right? You shot it, and you're like, "Oh man, shoots really good," and that's pretty much what everybody has said that's shot it. So why did you go with the PSE? Like, and we shot the expeditions, and those shot freaking amazing. And I have a dart, and a bunch of the guys have dartons. They shoot nice as well. They feel good. Different feel.
Yeah.
And then going back to a carbon bow, like what made you go back with the PSE? Just speed?
Well, no, the whole arc thing kind of burned me because I had so many issues with it.
Just had one issue.
And then we rebuilt it.
It was just one issue.
Yeah, but I mean, when we had to rebuild it, and then like I wasn't happy with it, and my whole thought was, I'm like, this thing's it's gonna happen again. And I was like, the whole thing with it living upstairs in your head, I was like, I'm just gonna burn it. Like, I'm just gonna get rid of it.
I've done that with those.
I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I've done that. This bow is like, I can't get this thing to tune. We get it to tune. Next time you shoot, it's not shooting right. You're like, just get this fucking thing out of my face. Get this out of my face before I wrap it around a tree.
Yeah. Well, how many times did I say I was going to ground tune this thing?
Might have worked.
I just couldn't get comfortable with it.
Miss a deer 3 times out of the same tree.
That's a you thing,
Then,
dog.
Yeah.
We know that.
Get this bow out of my face.
Get that corn out of my face.
But I was like, and then I'm pretty fortunate with like the situation that I'm in because I can do this and it doesn't cost me like a bunch of money. Yeah. So I don't have, like, even if I go to sell a bow, like, I don't have an issue with it. Like, I just send out a couple texts and somebody wants it, right? So I dumped it and I went to the shop and I was like, all right. Greg knows and like if there's any bow that I've ever regretted selling, it's the Mach 34. Because there was just something about that bow with that cam and everything about it. And I'm like, the bow just shoots. And so I was like, well, what I'm going to do is I'll just roll into the shop and then I'll see. And I asked Dylan, I was like, let me shoot a 33. And he was like, all right. And I shot it like 4 times and I was like, dude, I'm in so much trouble. Like, it feels like home is what, like, it's the closest thing that I've felt like I've come back to that felt like home. And I'm like, yeah, this one does it. Because I've got the one with the new FDS cam or the FBS cam, whatever one it is. And it's like a cross between like the EC2 cam, which was their comfortable cam, and then it's got the same speed as like the E2 cam does. And that's the cam I like because it was a little violent. And like you could shoot it at, so then you could only shoot them at 85. But like this new one, you can go, it starts at 85 and you can get it down to 75. So I was like, well, that's perfect because I can just shoot it at 80 and be good. And it's fast.
You like your speed.
Well, you're gonna really like it when I'm shooting a 480 grain arrow out of it. to get it under 300.
Yeah, that's just 65 pounds is all I need. I'm good with that. Yeah, I mean you got youth on your side. That'll fade. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah.
What are you? Almost 49?
I will be this year. Yeah,
Yeah, in September,
Yeah.
right? Damn,
you're like
dude.
30. So
Yeah, 32, but yeah.
So you still planning your muskox hunt for your 50?
nope, not now. Gonna have to postpone that till I get more vacation time. You know,
We could do that for retirement.
yeah, yeah. When I'm 65, I'll still be in good shape. Be all right.
I could probably.
Dude, when does that'll be right around the same time Fletcher graduates?
Yeah, it will be. We'll do we'll do a live
2 in
retirement
1.
graduation hunt together. My daughter will be graduating college. My son will be graduating high school, and I'll be retiring. So it's a win-win.
Good Lord, we're gonna have to throw a banger
Yeah.
then. We'll have to come out there for that one.
Yeah, but
It will be that like reel that you sent out where it's like the 80th birthday party. And it's a karaoke, like "Bring Me the Horizon." Like,
Oh, it's like that one when I sent every old person meme that I send in our group is like geared right towards Greg, because it's when he said that he was pushing his old man in the wheelchair out of the old folks' home, and it's no man left behind.
that will be me.
That'll be you. Good Lord, maybe you should probably just move this way.
My wife,
Be more enjoyable.
my wife, she's like, she loves the beach, and we were in Northeast PA, and she goes, "This is really nice up here." I was like, "Yeah, well, you don't like the snow." She goes, I could probably like the snow around here because there's like a lot of old towns that are 30 years ago you wouldn't step foot in them, but they've revitalized them. They brought them back to life. Like they have good hospitals now, good medical. So it's like you could live kind of wildernessy, you know, got the mountain views, got some acreage, but you're still 20 minutes from a decent hospital if you need it. It's like, this is nice out here. I was like, yeah, you know, it's not, I mean, it's cheaper than the beach, that's for sure. But
You and Johnny could be neighbors then.
yeah, I would, Western PA wouldn't be too bad to live because you got Ohio, you know, you got West Virginia. You can do multiple things, you know. Being like Central PA would be tough because you're in the middle of a fucking big ass state. Kind of like where you guys are. It takes you 3 hours to get out of your fucking state. I mean, where are you going? I'm like,
And
3 hours south, just so I can leave my state.
the UP.
Yeah.
You go 3 hours north and you just get to the
Yeah.
UP.
I was gonna say, has your wife ever seen Lake Michigan?
I told her she needs to go to.
That little lake
I
we
told
got
her she needs to go to Michigan. It's like you always say that. I'm like, you'll like it. It's like New Jersey but better. I was like, but they'll get snow for 6 months out of the year. She goes, oh no. I'm like, you ride a snowmobile? She's like, absolutely not. Like, just get like a big jacket. You won't even realize it.
We don't get winters like that bad anymore. I think this winter was the last one we've had, or the worst one we've had since, what, 2014?
Yeah, we get one like every 7 to 10 years. It's like, it's not bad.
We were cold down here for a while. It was rough down here. You know, I definitely. I mean, that's how the winters used to be. And this winter was like, man, it was nonstop. But the cold. I mean, we had snow lasted like the last 2 years lasted like 3 weeks in the ground, which is crazy. Because usually it snows here, next day it's like 90, and it's fucking gone, and everything's just a shit show. You know?
Shit, dude. Here, when did we start getting snow? Thanksgiving? Yeah,
Oh,
we had
yeah,
we had our conversation. Dude, normally we don't have long conversations, right? Like when he calls me or whatever. I was working, and he calls me because he was headed up north for deer camp, like after Thanksgiving. And he was like, I'm just going to call and talk to you just in case I die. Because he's like, I can't see anything. And I'm like, okay, cool. Just along for the ride.
I was literally going from rumble strip on one side to rumble strip on the other side. I couldn't see anything at all. in the middle of like the UP, no houses, no light pollution, no anything, just white.
I love that. Reminds me of my snowboarding days. Like, oh, pollution's coming. Like, we're driving Vermont. You know, you get in like
Yeah.
New York where it's like they're shutting 87 down or whatever, and you're like, all right, I gotta get off. They're shutting so you're like side streets, and you know in the mountains you're like, I can't see fucking shit in this thing. You know, it's going like 10 miles an hour. You're like a 6 hour ride takes 9, but you're like we're getting fresh tracks. You get up there, you know, at Killington at like 8 in the morning, and it's like just dumping his ass off, and then like tapers off at like 10, and you're just like riding in fresh powder like through the trees. It's awesome.
Yeah, we don't get that here because we don't have mountains. All the snow we get's manufactured. Straight ice.
Yeah,
So I gotta say, go ahead.
Ice Coast, baby.
So when you were talking about your run there, you were talking about before, like doing your, like you said you were going to get yourself one of those little vests with all your hydration and your little chewies and whatever. And I was going to ask you because I wanted to, you're like one of the first guys, you know, we messed around with them before, but I was like, you should have used your flyer pack with your water in it and all your stuff. So you've got the pack, you've got the sticks. Like, what are your like impressions? Like I said, I know me and you messed around with the sticks and like had to figure them out before anybody else.
I was surprised, you know, the packs together like with the Profile XL, and I mean, I would like to see a place for like a water bottle somewhere, because one of those, you're going to lose a spot for water. You got to put water somewhere, you know, especially like early season. Like I drink a lot of water, so I got to figure out how to strap, you know, place to hold my Nalgene bottle, because I will go through 32 ounces of water almost on every hunt in September just because it's so hot, you know. Outside of that, you know, like I put some gear like inside with the pack or with the platform, you know, and I have my Lone Star in it. I had the Method 3 in there closing it, like it all fits. So you're like, okay, well, you know, it starts pushing the weight, at least for me, the weight limit of that. Like I had a lot of stuff in it where it's like, okay, I'm probably getting in the upper echelon of, it starts to get a little uncomfortable because you don't have that waist belt, you know. But I think as far as like that setup's going to be great, especially now. Like for me, like I'm gonna be able to hunt an hour and a half after work. You know, there's some spots I can hunt on the way home. I'll be there an hour and a half, 2 hours max. I think that is going to be perfect for hunts like that. Quick, easy hunts. You don't need a lot of, you know, 2 hours. I don't need a lot of stuff. You know, even like during the ruts, you know, I'll have an hour and a half, 2 hours, you know, if that. So I think that setup's going to be absolutely ideal, you know, for those things. It's so compact on your back, and it's like, it's well thought out, you know, and using it, and I'm like, man, that design is fantastic. It's not a full frame pack. Like I still drag my deer out. Like I don't need to chop my deer up and quarter them out. I still like dragging them out my sled, you know, get couple buddies and drag it out. There's a whole, I don't know, we did that. I've always done that. So there's like a, so it's like, I've quartered deer up, and I'm like, you know, I like hanging it up, getting pictures, you know, and like the whole hunt camp vibe, you know. I got a nice tree I hang my deer on now if I want to. So I'm like, I'm always going to drag out my deer, you know, for the most part. So, but if they would take that flyer pack and make it like a Flyer XL, that pack, a little bit bigger with a waist belt and maybe some, you know, low lifters kind of straps on it, I think that would be like a perfect pack. Because it's rigid enough where it holds its structure, you know. But like I said, I'm not really packing out meat, game or anything. So a full rigid pack, they're nice. But I think the average whitetail hunter especially guys that drag out the deer. It's a unnecessary, personally.
Did you get a practice pack yet, or no? Okay. I don't know if you were going to try that one or not.
It's but I think that they really did it's a fantastic setup, that pack. I would personally think like an XL, a little bit bigger, holds a little bit more stuff, with a waist belt would be probably like the perfect pack, because you can change out the packs and stuff like that. But I had a lot of stuff in with the Lone Star, the Method, and my bag of ropes and everything in there cinched, and it was tight, secure. It's nice. And the sticks are, I climbed right up, and some of the spots I'll be hunting, I'll probably just get a 2-step aider for one stick. I mean, there's some spots where 6 feet is going to be tall, where I'll be hunting this year after work. I'll probably just run a 2-step aider on one stick, and I'll probably be able to get where I need to go with that setup.
So what's your ideal stick? Because for me, the only thing about those sticks is I don't like the way it's not like anything against those sticks. It's just I don't like the way that they stack. I prefer a little bit slimmer stacking. But like I said before, for me, the beast sticks have always been the standard, and I didn't have a lot of experience messing around with the tree sticks. Just because there wasn't a whole lot of people that had them, and they were a little bit cost prohibitive, and now seeing those and messing around with them, it may be the new standard, because it's just a better beast stick. And the only downfall, because I like the attachment method, the weight, everything, the standoff, everything is there. It's just they stack up instead of
I think you can probably stack, because I did that with the timber ninjas. Because they would stack high, and I would just stack them, but then flip them around and alternate them. Where I still haven't messed around with that. So I only got 3 sticks, So with the timber ninjas, I always carried 4. 'Cause, I mean, I had generally this, the way I designed, stacked them up, they were super compact. You could probably do the same thing with these sticks, stack 2 this way and then flip the other 2 around and just use lashing straps. So you could have 2 that are lashed together and then somehow, get them to go. But I only got 3 sticks, so I could probably, attempt to do it with 3 sticks, that they get a smaller profile. But I will say especially in the flyer pack, because I turned them the other way, having the standoffs out this way with the platform. I personally felt it was a little tighter for me. And it's still not a lot, because the sticks are the tubes in and just the feet are out. So it doesn't seem as far off the back. But they are nice though. When you set them, they will not move when you take them off, set there, They're very secure, pretty tight, without having external things keeping them together, and only time will tell how secure they'll stay after 100 uses. I think it should be all right, but we'll find out.
Yeah, but you're the only one that I know that's had them on a tree.
Dude,
been able to
it's so quick
mess around
going around and going up, and they're just so light. And it's shooting from a carbon bow, carbon sticks, especially when it's cold. This one is going to be a delight when it's cold using. You fingers, gloves, you're not going to have to touch anything. Even their old sticks were great. A little bit of hockey tape on them, keep some of the noise down, or stealth strips, whatever people use. I'll go to my tried and true hockey tape and a little bit of camo spray paint, and I think you know, 3 sticks. Like I said, I'm going to try to double step 8 on the first stick this year. I think 3 sticks. I mean, last year I didn't really hunt much higher than 14 or 15 feet. I don't think. You know, I think 3 sticks was the max I hunted with the 8er all last year. So I think those sticks are going to kill a lot of deer. You know.
I think it's always funny, like going to the NRA show and then seeing brand new sticks, like, and most of the time, like the brand new ropes, and trying to like explain to people, like the ropes, like I guess the attachment method to the sticks, because mine are like gray and frayed and like, you know, just like beat to shit. And I'm like, I've been using them for like 4 years. They're like, well, how long do you think this is going to hold up? And I'm like, well, this looks beautiful compared to like what I have. Like mine are way different than these.
New strings are always, you know, they're stiff. They'll break in, you know. I will say the only issue I have with am steel is sticker bushes. Just trying to set up in, you know, one stick through a sticker bush is a nightmare, because that am steel is like, it's like a magnet for sticker bush to get on there, and then you can't, especially at night, you're trying to get it out, like falls in there, and it's like, and it's a pain in the ass to get out. That is the only thing I miss about like a 6mm rope hunting sticker bushes. That am steel, that especially that small am steel, it just sucks. You know, and the light am steel too, like on a bigger tree, trying to get it all the way around. Sometimes there's just not enough like to go around. You're like, just there's no weight to the stick, you know, to the rope.
That's why I do the old pass it around the tree.
We heard that about you.
Yeah.
The old reach around.
Walked into that. Yeah, into that one, didn't I?
Yeah. Greg's wingspan's only this big, though, so he
true.
can't.
27-inch draw length.
Oh, man.
It's like, I thought you were taller than that.
I get that all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the pack and the sticks is going to be a great early season and like run and gun style. Like that pack, especially like speed scouting, like you might not hunt, you could hunt, like that pack is set up perfectly for that. Where you're like, man, maybe I'll hunt, maybe I won't. You know, you can cover a lot of ground, you know, and whether you hunt or not, I feel you can get, you know, especially if you wear your saddle in, you know, if you've got your pouches, everything on your saddle, like you can carry. You know, I'll probably try that again this year, walking in with my saddle sometimes. I haven't done that in a while. You know, but I think that pack, you know, even like hybrid hunting, you know, some of my cedar trees, that pack is probably perfect for it. You know, because the 22 it's a little too much sometimes, you know, for a quick hunt, you know, especially carrying the weight of the stand in the pack, like it's a little too much. I think that pack would really do well with hybrid hunting.
So for you, and this is, it's interesting to hear you talk about like switching up packs, like between hunts, because you're a very like meticulous guy, and I'm, you know that I'm very much not.
We're aware.
So, but it would seem like it would seem like you would want like almost like two specific setups. Like I'm going to use this on this and this on that. Is that the way that you go about it? Because there's no way that I could go between two different packs.
Well,
like,
I think
on Tuesday
like
and Wednesday.
With the flyer pack, I'll probably just set that up for like the quick hunts. The only thing I'll change out is the platform. You know, I'll probably maybe just keep the platform in it and just use that as long as I can. And when I hybrid hunt, I'll just stick to my 22. You know, I take the straps off, and I just hook it on with, you know, a zip tie or a gear tie and 2 lashing straps. I'll probably just keep that pack, you know, the 22 set up for the hybrid hunts and to keep all my gear in there, because using that pack, you know, I know where everything is. So even in the dark, I'll be able to find it, and it's good to have nice stuff, and you have stuff you can switch back and forth, but there was a time in my hunting career where I didn't have that, and changing packs was like the worst. It's going from this, that, this, and it's like, man, you're forgetting something. So, I mean, for years, I used a Badlands Super Day, early season, late season, because I hated changing packs. I was like, I'll carry the extra weight in the early season because I just know where everything is, you know? But now I've accumulated more stuff where it's like, yeah, I can have 2 or 3 setups,
Yeah.
I'll probably keep, like I said, the flyer pack and the carbon sticks, and maybe the practice pack if I get one. Set it up, once the weather turns, like switch to that pack. But keep the carbon SS sticks with the 22 for the hybrid hunts. That way I just have that ready. I can just grab it and go, I'll probably keep both in the truck, keep them locked up in the truck and just have, because wherever I go, like I'm pretty content. Like I know where I'm going, what stand I need, for the most part. So if I go hunt some cedar trees, I'll bring the hybrid, I'll bring the XOP and the Maverick, If I want to go true saddle, I'll grab the Lone Star or the 3 and the flyer pack with the synergy sticks.
What XOP stand do you have?
It's a Cold World. It's like 7 pounds, I think it's called the Cold World. And my buddy,
So that's not.
he got the Element, was it Elevate stands, and he's got the micro one. It's for hybrid hunting. It's really nice, small. I mean, I know XOP has that micro one, because it is a lot of stand for hybrid hunting, but it is nice to be able to turn around and like sit down and change out your socks, take off your boots for a second. So it is nice because you got the room on the platform to do that.
Yeah, you can't even imagine how many times I've like looked at that Ranger or like platform, like the Lone Wolf one, but I do not like the way that it folds up. Like I can't, I can't figure out a way that it would make sense to put in a backpack or like to use as a shelf. I've talked to guys that use it. I've like tried to like reverse engineer it, but I can't for myself figure out a way to make it like make sense.
Yeah, with that. I mean, some guys love it. They have a system set up, and I've seen some guys online, and I'm like, that just looks cumbersome. And then I see other guys, they attach a waist belt to that, and when they put it up, the waist belt goes around the tree. It's out of the way. I'm like, well, that kind of works, because it is kind of a tall seat post. At Harrisburg said it's like you could probably cut 2 inches off that seat post and be okay with it, But like I said, those guys probably have something concoct or that type of modifying that. What I looked at was like you could probably have like a double seat post. Like the seat post folds in itself or something. You can pull it up, and somehow pin it, give you the height, Because most guys I know that use that, they don't sit in it very long. They're really hybrid hunting. So it's like, is it full weight bearing seat posts? Couldn't you like change how the engineering part of that, where the force wouldn't be on the actual seat, but down lower? But
Yeah, like I said, I've looked at it like a million times. I've picked it up. I've looked at people's setups that had it and like put it on my back, and like the post is just so long that it just doesn't make sense to me. And like it's one of those things where like Jake said about his bow, like I feel like it'd be always in my head, like wanted to change it or like something. Like I just and then to spend the money on it, like no.
Yeah, it's a big expenditure. Like
Well, for something that you don't think is perfect, like Jake's like 0.5 is like, okay, if I was gonna spend the money, like to me is worth it. Like even one of those Elevate stands, like I don't necessarily like their seat post design, but everything else I like. And it does seem like a little bit flexy.
But most of us, it's not as large as you, so
we're average weight.
No.
So
we're in shape.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, I guess that's what happens when you're working all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won that fucking Chuck Norris. I won that tournament.
But anything else you got going on this season?
No.
Anything you're looking forward to?
No.
Jumbos. I'm going to get one of those pillows made of you with that. For next year.
My buddy's got that deer at his house. I've been meaning to go pick it up. I just got to go get it. It's hanging, like, he's killed some nice deer. Like, that deer was definitely thick. And he's got it next to, like, two of his bucks. They're, like, really nice bucks. He's like, dude, that deer is a fucking monster. He sent me a picture. I was like, holy shit, it's like a Midwest deer compared to his deer. And his deer, you know, there are no slouches, but it just looks so like it's from, you know, Iowa somewhere. And I'm like, that's right. That's what I do. I shoot 180s, you know.
That's what we're going to do where we get the studio up and running.
Yeah.
We're going to get like one of those big heads that you like slap on the wall of Greg. It's going to be in the background like Jumbo.
Just a giant fat head.
Yeah, I get it.
Absolutely.
It'll be you see the wall behind us, it'll just be you. So every time we're on camera, it's you.
What's the studio like with like that Pat McAfee where it's got like all the shit on the walls and all that stuff? It's going to have Greg in the background like Jumbo.
Yes.
We're just going to build it out to where... We'll build it out so everybody's got their own corner and you just got to pan back.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right,
guys.
I know you got to get up for work.
Yeah, 4 a.m. comes quick.
Some of us have that thing called a job.
I gotta go work 80 hours a week to make half what Adam makes in 2 days.
Well, I mean,
I keep telling my daughter, I was like, you need to be a pharmacist in that. Pharmacist. Just work 2 days, you can make 6 figures. You can still be a stay-at-home mom, make a lot of money, let your husband be the breadwinner. It's like you can still do that. It's great. So you need to be.
Yeah, it works out great.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah. So
he can go to breakfast whenever he wants.
yeah, this guy. But Jake, if you've listened to this podcast this far, I want to know your take on breakfast. Like, are you for breakfast or against it? Because Jake hates breakfast.
Dude, it's so weird. Anytime I call him, I'm like, or I'll send him a text. I'm like, what's up? He's like, at breakfast.
Yeah, going to breakfast.
Like, fucking retired life?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like, who doesn't eat breakfast?
Like, I eat breakfast, but I don't go out every time.
Well,
I like a nice
breakfast. He's got nothing else to do with his life. Kids are in school. He's alone. Like
exactly.
He's like that creepy guy at the diner all by himself eating alone.
Yeah. He's like, I got to get used to it, you know. When I hit like 60, it'll be me again.
Retired, alone. Sitting there just looking around.
Yeah.
All the couples. Adam's just eating alone.
Dude, the funny part is he's going to be so sick. Like, he's not going to retire. Because he's like, I've been retired for like the last 30 years.
Yeah.
He's like, so what's the difference?
He's like,
job. Like, well,
count out
2 days
pills.
a week.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Yeah, 37 pills.
Oh, sorry, you got a couple extra.
All right. I'm not smart enough for robots, but
Yeah.
you know, it pays the bills.
Yeah. Want to trade places?
Jersey's too expensive.
Yes. You make toilet paper, I'll count pills. It's a win-win. All right, guys.
All right.
Later.
Dude.
Later.